Hey guys, welcome back to Blind Strike Exotics. As you can see, I have an egg box in front of me here because another female is laying right now, or she should be done at this point. It is my yellow belly brite female. She was paired up to my ivory leopard male. Ivory is super yellow belly, so there's two copies of yellow belly. So really just kind of hoping for more leopard ivories out of that combo. Now, I didn't have any egg boxes pre-set up like I did with the other three clutches, so I figured I'd just kind of show you what I do when I put them in there. I did have perlite in here already. Typically with the perlite, it can be pretty dusty, so I take a strainer and just run it through the sink and just try to get all the dust out that you can, because you don't want any of the dust floating around inside of the egg box. And then the way that I'm setting it up in my incubator is that I'm just kind of filling up the water basically to almost right at the top of the perlite, almost right to there. I want as much water in there as possible so there's no chance that these eggs dry out. And you want to fill it with water. If you're doing this as the eggs are laying and it's not already just sitting in the incubator, you don't want to put super hot water, you don't want to put super cold water. You want this water to be close to 90 degrees, like right around your incubation temperature, so there's not like a shock to the eggs as you're moving them from the tub into the egg box into the incubator. So this water, I just kind of did it by touch, is probably around 90 degrees or so. And just slowly fill it up. Now the perlite is going to soak some of this up. So you're going to want to kind of do it slowly. You do not want your eggs sitting in water. Now, the way I have it set up is either the eggs are going to be sitting on an easy hatch tray or one of those light diffuser panels. I bought like 6 of these just to have them. I like them better than the light diffuser panel because the eggs actually kind of cradle inside those little grooves there. If you can see that. They're concave so the eggs fit in there. If you have big eggs, there are 10 spots for eggs in here. You're probably not going to fit 10 ball python eggs in here because their eggs are usually a little bigger. Might be able to squeeze 8 in there, maybe. So you'll probably fit 8 in an egg box. But I like these because they are elevated. As you can see, there's little feet, so they are going to be up off of the water anyways. But it also cradles the eggs and it makes it really easy. They fit inside these 6-quart shoe boxes perfectly. The perlite soaked all that up, so I'm putting more in here. I think that'll soak that up. And once that's done soaking it up, I'll place the tray in there and I'll show you guys the eggs from the female. Alright, so the water is pretty much all soaked up in there. There's a little excess, but that's okay. Now this part, I'd like to just put clean gloves on when I'm dealing with the eggs. I don't want to contaminate them with anything, even if I just wash my hands. These are sterile. So it's really just best to practice that so you're not accidentally contaminating anything. I push that easy hatch tray down in there pretty firmly. It's not going to go anywhere. That water should not be coming up from underneath because there shouldn't be enough water that it's going through the perlite and then coming through the easy hatch tray. That's like 1 inch or 2 of clearance. So there should not be, that shouldn't be an issue. Now, I came down here, I don't know, maybe 5 a.m. this morning. I was cleaning the rats and I was checking all the snakes, and she did not start laying yet. I caught her, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 this morning, and I saw that she had a couple eggs that she laid. It's about 1:30 now, and she's fully wrapped up on them. This kind of a positioning kind of tells me that she's done. I'll obviously check to make sure that she's finished. But when I checked 2 hours ago, she wasn't wrapped around real tight, and it looked like she was possibly still in the process of laying the eggs. So you don't want to bother the female as she's laying. You want to try to make sure she's done, and that can take a couple hours or a lot of hours. So if you see an egg pop out, don't assume that she's ready for you to come in there and start bothering her. The last thing you want to do is make this process any more difficult for her than it needs to be. Now she's keying in on me, and I'm going to get my good old paper towel roll. Hopefully just kind of, she's not looking super aggressive like the last snake. I think this might be easier, but she's also wound up very tightly on these eggs. Yeah, she's okay. She's not as crazy. 4 very big eggs. You want to try to grab the tail, and if you can get in there, and pull it off the eggs, because they will curl that tail under, try to hook onto the eggs, and it'll flip them over. So she's got 4 eggs in here. They all look good. They're all a good size. Well, this one is like super long. That one right there in the front is really long. I don't think I'm going to need to candle these either. I think I'm okay just leaving them right there. Now, of course, she's going to have to get the bath that I always talk about, just a warm water bath with some Dawn soap. When you get her out, you really just want to make sure she's empty. Yeah, she's empty. All concave, nothing firm in her. So I'm going to put her back. Now this is her first year. This is her first breeding season. So 4 eggs I'm happy with. Actually, I already have her sold. There was somebody who was working with the brite gene, which is just another kind of version of the fire gene. They're working with that brite gene, and they were interested in her. So she's actually already sold. So I will get her a couple meals, and after she eats 2 or 3 meals, she'll be going to her new home. Sorry, I had to cut out there briefly. So I'll candle the eggs. I'm not going to necessarily take them apart because they look like they're probably oriented correctly. But as I was saying, there's somebody working on the gene, and they wanted to purchase her, so they put a down payment on it, and I just said I'd hold her and feed her after she was done laying. So it's kind of neat. You have the female, a buyer for the female before she even laid her eggs. But there are good veins on this one. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on camera or not. But yeah, the embryo I can see is right here on this one. And it's right here on this one. And this one, it's on the side over here. I might take that one off. This one's over here on the side as well. If I should be able to peel this off because you just laid them. I'd prefer if they were not laying on the side, just in case they do shift. I don't want it to shift and end up being upside down. But they all look like they're 4 good eggs. Yeah, it came off pretty easy. Let's see if it comes off of this one. That's the big long one. It's definitely a weird shaped egg. Let me make sure these 2 didn't shift when I did that. Yep, that's still up. That's still up. That one's still up. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're say there. All right, so I haven't shown you guys inside of the incubator here in a little bit. So I'll show that to you now with a couple egg boxes in here. So I have clutches 1, 2, and 3. I keep a thermometer, and I guess the humidity doesn't really matter, but I keep the temperature gauge in there. And I'm probably going to I'm going to try to fill these guys in these middle couple rows here. So I'm probably going to put this one right here in the middle. I really don't want to have to use the extreme top or bottom in any of these rows unless I need to, for temperature fluctuation. So I'll just do the same thing. I know I have more clutches coming soon, so I'll probably just pull these out now. I'll put this temperature gauge here just so I know what the temperature is on that level. And that way I'm not running into any issues once we get the other clutches rolling. So that'll give me, I can stack on top of these as well, so I can fit 6 on each section. But for right now, I'm just going to do them, single level. I guess I'll move those over. And I guess it would make sense if I put 2 and 3 here, but I don't know if I will. Just because. Just so they're all in order. But everything looks good with the other clutches so far. The 5 from the Ivory and She and the Ivory Leo look good. The 8 from my Superfly and Danky King look all good. And the 5 from my Sterling Lesser and GHI Mojave Cinnamon pairing look good. I'm not seeing any of the eggs desiccating or shriveling up. I'm not seeing any mold growth. I'm not seeing any tons of discoloration on anything. So I think so far, we are 18 for 18 up here. And these 4 look perfect. All have good embryos. So I think we are hopefully 22 for 22. Hopefully we don't have any bad eggs. So I have a thermostat on each level just to know, what the temperatures are there to make sure they're even. The thermostat probe sits right below this level here, so if it's 90 up here, it should be 90 down here as well. But I think I like the setup how I did this. As you can see, like the humidity's only 40% in the incubator itself, which basically just tells you that it just sucks all of the humidity out of the air in one of these incubators. So you have to make sure you provide enough moisture in these egg boxes to last these eggs for the 58 days they need to incubate. If you're going to set your eggs directly on the substrate, most people what they do is they weigh out the substrate and they weigh out the water and they make a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of weight. So let's say you have 8 ounces of substrate, you want 8 ounces of water, you mix it together, and that should be perfect if you want to lay the eggs directly on the substrate. It's debatable whether or not putting in the substrate might promote the bacteria growth or mold. To me, with the advent of either using the light diffusion panels or the easy hatch trays, it just makes sense to use them. It keeps them off of that wet substrate, and it also helps you to make sure that you can just put as much water as you need to in that egg tub so that you never run out of water during incubation. So this is the way I like to do it. I'm probably going to stick to it. There's really no reason for me not to. And hopefully, when it comes around to the end of the season, I didn't lose any eggs because of bad incubation techniques. But I was perfect for last year, except for the one disaster clutch that I had when I moved, but I think that was more or less because I moved, not because of the incubation process. And fingers crossed, that's number 4. That's more clutches than I had last year, and hopefully I have a ton more coming up over the next couple weeks. So that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by, and please remember to like and subscribe. See ya.